Today is August 6th, 2026. um, Today we had to go down to Carl's farm, Old Farm, and we stopped at that gas station. And on the way down, I was talking to Carl. I know our vehicles are bugged, and these people sold the lock into the case. Okay, and I was going over about those drug dealers showing up. Okay. And at 18, when Dave wanted them to kill me, and how mad they were. Um, where that guy a couple weeks ago at Wellness Grove was sitting behind me when I took my grandson Daniel to counseling. Carl went to the bathroom. He spoke out. He said, "Trust me, nobody will say a word to you. Those people admitted they drugged you and told you to say it before, and Dave was involved." And I thought, I know they did in 21, August of 21. And they were redoing it in Louisville in May of 21. They did it throughout the case several times, and I thought, I remember the first time that they ratted them all out. I remember those drug dealers coming up behind me and around me. I could feel them. They were right there, and they were so mad at my ex-husband. The words they were calling him. That fucking bastard. That arrogant asshole. Who does he think he is talking to us like that? Dave wants us to take her out and kill her. I mean, I don't care what he thinks. I don't care what he wants. Why waste a good woman when we could sell her and make money off of it? Him and Melissa had this plan for months before they did it. They were in it together to ensure they both got everything in the divorce. Dave was part of drugging her and telling her to say it before in the house. They were using Z drugs on her. That's how they put it, Z drugs. It erases your memory as it's happening. It actually causes amnesia, sleepwalking. And the dangers of using them. They're the hypnotic drugs that they admitted last year again. The originals, I didn't know what a Z drug was back then. She has no memory of those people or anything that would happen. Those drugs erase it as it's happening. Causes sleepwalking, amnesia. It was to ensure that Dave and Melissa got everything in the divorce. Dave and Melissa decided together that she'd be the more appropriate parent. So they set it up to make sure that they both got everything in the divorce, and she wouldn't be able to help John when she went for custody, and that she'd get everything. Was going on and on that night, right in front of the cops. That's one thing about Judge Peter's group from Florida. They would show up and tell you what kind of crimes they're doing and like dare law enforcement to arrest them. You made them mad. They told everything you did in your involvement so the cops knew what you did. They had no problem ratting you out. Okay? See, in 19, they were saying the same thing in Louisville. Everything's set up for Dave and Melissa to get everything in their divorce and set up so she can't help John when she goes for custody of those kids. It was set up to ensure that they both get them. Dave and her were together. Act like they were a couple. I made comments. Now I know my home and vehicle is bugged by the police. I know these people sold it. I made comments. Did John know his wife was cheating with his dad? Well, they were still together. That's sick. Now they planned it out months before. Okay. Where Dixie was over at Danny and Jen's on April 6, 25. Okay. We go in, she stands up, walks into the kitchen. Danny's house was super tiny. Wasn't, 7 feet away from me? Nobody thinks it's funny she married that old man. Melissa said, some lady investigator said she could extort money out of the government from me and Melissa. Jen's like, we want nothing to do with it. Said that lady investigator asked me if I knew about the tapes before. We didn't know anything about it. We won't have anything to do with it. Asked me if we knew about a tape of Weird with Yourself. Told her we didn't know anything about it and we won't have anything to do with it. She had giant bruises all over, throwing up and almost passing out. And I seen her like that. I didn't put it together what was going on. I realize it now. We won't have anything to do with it. Said, well, that lady investigator said she could extort millions of dollars of money out of the government for me and Melissa. And she said, even though I gave her permission to tape me, of knowing of Melissa's kids as mean games that pretend they were all laughing about, and day breaking of the gunshot night, even though I gave her permission, I can extort all kinds of money from the government. Sounds like we want nothing to do with it. Lying to that dumb girl. Ohio laws, you can tape in one conversation, one person in the party without the other person knowing it. If you're in the conversation, you don't do anything to the other person. You can, as long as you're not a doctor, okay? Because then it's HIPAA. You can tape open parties in houses, events. They're your videos. You can do whatever you want with them. Somebody gives you permission, they have nothing to say. Yes, I do. You already didn't need their recording, their permission. Once you give them permission, you have nothing to say. But you don't have anything to say anyways if you're in a one-person conversation with them. But you have to be in the conversation, and you can't do anything to them. You can never set up button cameras or listening devices. That's when it goes into legal monitoring, felony evasion, privacy, and cyber stalking, voyeurism, and stuff like that. Fourth Amendment kicks in. But if it's like an open party, yeah. You can record that. You can do whatever you want. But just to watch somebody in the house that's stalking. That's why they call their tapes stalking tapes. Okay? Of what they did to me. But just recording somebody, she witnessed all that stuff. So I asked her permission if I could tape her, and she said yes. And as a witness. And that it was okay I did it before. She can't get money out of that. That's ridiculous. It's right on Google. That lady's playing her. And like she said, the mean games to pretend they were laughing about. Melissa can't get money. They're documented by the police and the FBI. They're mean jokes. How the people Melissa said the people they hired to watch her, Melissa needs to go to jail for that. Confession that even Melissa's own confession to Dixie, she was part of hiring those drug dealers. Because that's who they hired, was drug dealers. Okay. The group of people they hired to watch her, and then lied on the chief of, Melissa said the chief of police lets people break in people's homes. No, we don't. Set up on cameras watching them, break in and do stuff to them. The way they explained it made total sense. It's like, leave the dumb girl alone. Dear God, is she dumb? Um, and Jen's like, we want nothing to do with it. Melissa said, poor, poor Dave, poor Dave. Had to sit in the basement and listen to her have wild sex with other men. And then, she's like, I don't blame what they did to her after him having to listen to that. And I'm like, what men? What wild sex? Sat in the basement. And then you think of the bruises, throwing up, severe infection, almost passing out. He listened to them drug, beat, rape me. He sat in the basement and listened to it. I told you I had 3 weird memories. Thought they were nightmares. Footsteps, a syringe coming at me. Then I can't see, I can't breathe, and pain everywhere on my body. And I'm screaming in agony. And you wake up and you're in your bed and you think it's a nightmare. You think the well water's giving you cancer. Just showering in it because it's orange. And here it just has several different types of iron in it. And you're trying to make sense of what is happening to you. Here you're being drug, beat, raped. He's hadn't listened to it. Agent John should have shot him. Shot him. Have drug dealers do that to me. And Melissa wants to be part of that. She needs to be arrested. See, that's where a month ago they brought it out again, where they said it in 18:2 and 19. That Melissa was part of having those drug dealers drug me and tell me to say it before, because she wanted to ensure that I couldn't help John when she went for custody of the kids. She didn't want a person like me raising her kids, so she had those drug dealers do it to me. They brought it up a month ago in the Magnolia, Carrollton area. And some guy walked up, Officer Mark made a big mistake, let Melissa go. They were talking about it on July 22nd at Myers in Alliance of people walking around, and then in Bob Evans. That nobody should talk to Melissa ever again. They were saying stuff like that in Louisville 19. Okay. I told you yesterday we had went down to that Dollar General. And this huge guy showed up, and he came walking in looking for me, looked right at me. And he kept staring at me through the store. Dave, where those drug dealers said, why waste another woman when a good woman, when we could sell her? Dave sold me to the Kingsmen. And they sold me a couple times to a couple of different people, and they told them they couldn't have me till they were done. They're waiting for the big heist of, if the FBI doesn't pay me, the drug dealers will be released, and for them defrauding me. And I told you they probably need, with everything that happened, a willing statement of me willing to stay up there while they were surveillance me as an informant. Knowing my constitutional rights of the First Amendment, that agent was only bullying me. And didn't have the authority to ask me to stay quiet. But knowing with staying up there, I was risking my life, personal injury, possible death, but still willing to stay up there under my own will while they surveillance me to get these people. That makes it a knowledgeable, willing worker, and they can't say I was abused. Because not paying the informant, they had no legal right around me. They can't defraud their informant, and they can't let them get abused. So that's where the willing statement comes in. If they don't, like my friend from the prosecutor's office, they will walk. There was some idiot in there yelling out, Melissa's attorney is going to get her arrested, a child molester. Melissa don't have an attorney, and I'm not a child molester. She is. She hired drug dealers to set up button cameras in my home. Those drug dealers admitted they sold kiddie porn on my grandkids going potty. She's an accessory to child pornography and human trafficking, attempted murder, kidnapping, drug charges. There's real charges for what happened. See, the first month of the case, a little white man came up. I woke up with another big bruise on me, sick to my stomach. Went down to Walmart 62. Little white man came up to me in front of the cops and vets. For every idle word you telling us, I'll turn it on you. Try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester. And I'm like, who are you? You know? He said, you know that bruise on your leg? It was way up on my thigh. He said, I used sodium pentothal on you. You know what you said? You were wearing this one nightgown. You bent over him probably once. They accidentally seen your butt and you had a life of pain because of it. Then threatened me again. I got away from him, got home to a legally bugged house. I said, Dave, all besides the grandma nightgown that I wear down to my knees and some laces I got for you, all the other nightgowns I replaced last year for my 50th birthday. I treated myself and got all new nightgowns. He said, I know you did. I said, years ago, I had the grandma nightgown, underwear, and house coat on. I bent over the TV stand. They made fun of the back of my knees where I have varicose veins. Remember? Ooh, Grandma, what's on the back of your legs? Varicose veins. Here, hold Papa while I get changed. I said, they only seen the back of my knees. He said, I remember that. You were dressed like that. See, and where other people showed up where you had bruises before throwing up and infected, it wasn't the well water, it was us. We were drug beating, raping you. We had drugged you and told you to say this. We had drugged you and told you to say that. Like they said, when the case first started, they found people admitting they worked for Dave and they were drugging me up and telling me to say lies. See, Judge Peters' group admitted they were Z drugs. What's Z drugs? Hypnotic drugs. The dangers of using hypnotic drugs. There's a whole list of them. They cause sleepwalking, amnesia, a metal taste in your mouth when it wears off. It's horrible. And you can walk, talk, cook, drive a car, and there's possibility of death because you're sleepwalking and you don't have your conscious up there to stop you. You can tell somebody to say or do something and they'll do it. Audrey, Carl's daughter, was watching, I think, on the cartels. Hypnotic drugs are their drug of choice. They load up syringes, they go to raves, big parties, walk around, and they walk by and jab a kid that they want. And when they're looking around, what stuck me, stung me something, they're looking around for what, ouch. They walk on. They wait a minute or two and they'll leave with them willingly. Because you do what you're told. And they even showed how much they could control someone with it. They had a willing person to do an experiment. They used it on them, told them to go empty out their bank account. And they taped their face, their expression, everything with them. Said they were hair off. A hair. Did what they were told them to go empty their bank account. They did. Because they knew they were drugged. They were looking for it. And they were hair off. Okay? When it wore off, the guy said, what happened? Said, you just gave us all your money from your account. Get the idea. Where they told Faith Family Church they had mind-controlling drugs, amnesia drugs. They could control anybody for 4 to 6 hours. Okay? The hypnotic drugs. All right. Now, we're going for you to realize why all this is happening. Keith preached a sermon in around June 7th of 2016, Killing Jezebel. We had went down to visit for my birthday because I had friends there. He had erased part of it, was so sick. Get rid of your wife, get rid of your children. Gotta give you new. It takes the priest to kill Jezebel, for they have no feeling. You have to kill her out of your life. Your children, their friends, and everything connected to them. It was so bad he had to erase part of it. Okay? For God to give you your new wife, your new life that he intended for you, you have to at least push them to spiritual suicide, that they can never serve God again. So you will be free to marry whoever you want. It was evil to the point he had goosebumps. We went home and called Danny. Oh my God, he was talking about killing people. No way. We loaded up, and parts of it you could tell there was like where they taped over it. It was so bad. That was June of 16. It started in the spring of 17 when the money disappeared from the safe. Car being scratched up, leading to getting a security system, to the temps of my life. And then into 18 when the FBI's called. Okay? Now I want you to think. This is how their religion works. Their religion, if you tell a lie on somebody, you get 2 people to back it. It becomes law. It's still a lie. But you just destroy that person out of church, their marriage, their life. All you have to do is have 2 people to back your lie. That's how it works there. Strange didn't believe, and he's a very low educated minister. He didn't believe in dinosaurs, Stone Age, prehistoric age, nothing. There's only the Bible. The earth is only 6,000 years old. The world didn't start till Bible time. Everything else the scientists tell you, they show you, they're all lies. You go to museums, you see dinosaurs, their bones and stuff, those are all fake to fool society. There was no dinosaurs. There was no people. There was no one until the Bible. And that's how he believed. And if you believe anything different, you are blaspheming God. Now, what they're doing to me, and they're really not, they are doing it to me, but what they're doing is they're trying to overthrow the government. When you actually realize what they're doing, what are they trying to do? Steal from the U.S. government and the FBI. That's all they're doing, is trying to steal from the government. Because do they want money? Yeah. What do they want? The government money. What did they say? They're trying to set up their kids and their grandkids to be millionaires for life. When you realize the Apostolic Church is doing a religious crusade, to steal from the government. Because I can just hear them now. Up there on that pulpit. You are the children of God. We are going to go in like the children of Israel into the land of Canaan. We are going to overthrow the giants. We are going to rob and steal everything and kill everything in our path and take it for our own. We are going to, we will steal everything from our enemies. We will rob them. We will have them harmed. We will kill them. We will destroy them in our path as we take all the profit for our own. They manipulate the word of God into committing evil. You do realize with Case 6 service of killing Jezebel, he's talking about murdering people. He's telling husbands to kill off their wife and to be deadbeat dads and cheating husbands that murder and destroy their wife and their children that God gave them, and go out and be this relentless villain out with other women. He was ordering them to be criminals and deadbeat dads and unfaithful husbands that would kill their wife and become this monster from hell. Where these people, what are they really attacking? Where they said they were using me as a pawn. A pawn is a scam. Who were they after? The FBI. They were going to rob him. Where Strange said the government is evil. They'll brainwash your children. They'll take them from you. They are evil. You have to hide your pipes in the backyard and bury them. They'll come in and get them. They're evil. His overthrow of our U.S. government and the Constitution. Of he can hire drug dealers to break in private homes. He had the right to. Sit and stalk his victims. Nobody has a right to do that. Break in and have them stab them with drugs as they walk by a room, don't even know they're there. They're looking around for a bee or something what bit them. Go out and take a drink, the room goes dizzy and black, and those drug dealers drug you up until you say stuff, beat and rape you, and you come out of it, and you haven't even left your home. And it's like what on earth, and the world's spinning, you're throwing up. And the only thing new to you is orange well water showering in. And you never let anybody in your home. Never seen or talked to them. Or to wake up with orange, lemon, and grapefruit-sized bruises all over you. Throwing up, dizzy, and severe personal infection. And here you've been drugged, beaten, raped in your own home. And a minister ordering it. And then what does he want you to do? Scare that victim into calling the FBI. And they have an agent dating one of their church people that will grab it and go along with him. And then think of the audacity. Now I want you to think about this. What did that family that lost their kid in the traffic accident say to March 27th, 25 to another federal agent? They were all lying to the FBI that offended them, Strange, Cohen, or Baker. Lisa's father killed her kid. She wasn't even there. They were lying to help him get away with it. What were they doing? They wanted to rob the government of money. What did Katie say to a bunch of women that came in March 30th, 26 to Dutch Valley Restaurant? I was never mean to her, never threatened her. She was lying to help these people get away with it. And the only thing she didn't like me is back in 03, I went and talked to her. Avoided her. 03, and it's been 15 years when the case started and 23 now. And then people found out she was cheating with my brother-in-law. And that's why we avoided her. And she was lying for people to help. Why? Because her family wanted to work the government. She was cheating with Strange's son, mistress, for decades. And it's her family member dating Agent John. Help warning the guy that admitted he's trying to pull a fast one on the FBI. Trying to steal all the case's money for herself. See, that's where the sheriffs thought he was only acting that way. Till he showed up at the Tuscarawas County Courthouse. That agent over my case. Trying to get the case thrown out. Now he realizes with them in the cartel. See, those drug dealers walk, it's going to cost the government tens of millions of dollars each. And it's going to cost $10 to $25 billion to our U.S. government. See, the damning evidence against Agent John being part of this whole scam to rob the government blind. It's a recorded line. The recorded line. Where I called the hotline and I cried my eyes out, and the next day I couldn't even wake up. The phone's ringing, let it go back. Let it go to voicemail, fell back to sleep, kept wiping my face. I was crying in my sleep, I can't. And later on, I was so drugged up, I couldn't even stand up. Holding onto the wall to get to the bathroom, to the refrigerator. What's wrong with me again? Second day, not much better. Third day, made myself get up. Holding my head on the front porch. What's wrong with me? I feel drunk. And I don't drink. Got a hold of one of my witnesses that they'd witnessed for me. And I went out and bought a card, put that agent's number from the voicemail, dropped it off at the mall. Went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Pamers yelling at Dave in front of hundreds of people. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. How dare you bring up the FBI up here with threats on her life? I walk off, women come up. He knows she's being drugged, being raped. He said he didn't care. I'm covered in bruises. Severe infection, been throwing up, lost 18 pounds. Never seen, never talked to anybody, never had anybody in my home. Who would think to look for a drug dealer hiding in their home? You feel an ouch when you walk by a room. Said that they were admitting that last year they admit they hid behind doors. So they walk out, reach out, and jab me. I would think look for a bee or a wasp or something. So you're always getting bees in that house. It's a nest in the backwoods. Here's a drug dealer. Let it take effect and drug me up and tell me to say stuff, beat and rape me under drugs. Then leave, and you have never even left your house. And you think you're dying from the dirty well water. And it's giving you cancer. And like the doctor said, it's logical. If the well water would have been extremely toxic, it would have done everything. But different types of iron do nothing. Okay? Here's drug dealers playing with you. Okay? I go in and I sit down. And those women follow me and they said, he knows she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care. She's going to be faking. She was a strangest lie from 03, where he thought I was following Tim and Katie. Here, it's my sister, and he made up a baby lie to cover it up. Okay? where I went through 6 10 surgeries, my muscles locked up, went to a bunch of crackpots, gave me a bunch of wrong meds. Whole body swelled up, seizures, heart attacks, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down. Almost died. They were lying so bad they said I had brain tumors. And the only thing's wrong with me is my muscles clenched from all those surgeries, and my community health documented it as fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. And they were defrauding me and almost killed me. And it took me almost a year to get well. He didn't make it up for 6 months after a traffic accident. I wasn't even there to cover up thinking I was following his son cheating. And it was my sister following her husband. Okay, and it is documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. My community health told the FBI and police in 18 that everything but her muscles locking up. Those doctors were defrauding her and almost killed her. If I would have sued them, I'd have been a millionaire, and they'd still be in jail. Then half my medical records, I found out where I had identity theft of somebody using my insurance. Tried to fight it at first, but back then you didn't have to show ID. Here it was another girlfriend of days. He had cheated on me in my whole marriage. Okay. And where that family March 27th, 25 told an agent they were all lying to the FBI when they were in there. That it never offended them. It didn't even concern them. Strange calling her a faker. It was 6 months later. They just lied to help these people get away with it. What were they doing? Robbing the FBI. They wanted money out of them. It was the strangest thing of overtaking the government and stealing for his people. Get the idea. Said she's going to be faking she was sick. Well, that family was grieving. He didn't care what they did to her. He was going to turn her back over to him. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go. Out in the car, you call the FBI on me? I'd kill you myself. Goes for a loaded gun, put my hand on the couch, he beat me all the way home. I ran from the next morning, rivers of tears. And this is the damning evidence against Agent John. Okay? Tell him someone told on me, calls me a liar. It's documented, verified by the police it was him. He's dating Katie's family member. Big problem, huh? And then I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. He calls me a liar, yells about a camera above the bench. I don't know, I tried to stay alive that day. He said, I said, well, he tried to kidnap me before. And before I could say Terry Coberly seen him, he's like, oh, come on now. I've met with that family, the Lyon family, in his office that lost their kid in their traffic accident. The one their father murdered her kid and I wasn't even there. The ones that admitted they were lying to the FBI. And all the church people that were in there lying, I know they're trying to kill you. It's the strangest lie of cover up Tim and Katie calling me a faker. I said I really was sick before. You liar, you either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. And he said, was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. You say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. You hear me? I'm going to come up there and arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. Okay. What is wrong with that statement? It's on a recorded line. Had all the church people in there knew they were trying to kill me. Conspiracy and attempt to murder. Why didn't you arrest them? You just admitted they knew everything. Big problem, huh? And then you're bullying me, which is badgering. Huh? Now, then he said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick. I said, I really was sick. Dear God, I almost died. My community health told him those doctors almost killed her. It took her 9 months to get well. Yeah, I said I really was sick before, you liar. How he met with that lying family and all those lying church people. And he knew they were trying to kill me because the strangers lied to cover up. I tell you, that's why I call them the Pinocchio group. People I had nothing to do with, causing all this craziness. I didn't even go to their church. I want you to think about this. In years, no contact whatsoever. Okay? He said, I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick before, and you need to realize what you've done. I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He actually said that. Said I really was sick before. He's like, you liar. You say it or I'll leave you there. I said, they've tried to kill me. So? They're going to kill me. So say it or I'll leave you here. Please don't let them kill me. Then you better say it or I'll leave you here. And it's like, fine, whatever. I don't find him funny. Recorded. Like a lady investigator in Tuscarawas County. They sent out the recorded line to police departments. He sounds like pure evil. He sounds like Satan himself. That's where the cops thought it was an act. He said, why would the FBI help a person like you? I said, well, they've tried to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. Then he said, well, we could always use Pete's tape of weird with yourself. I said, what and who are you talking about? I thought, why is he lying on my brother? It's only Pete and I know. And I thought, I haven't seen him in years. I only talked to him on the phone. Why are you lying on him? And I thought, well, he has to be talking about somebody else. He must be mistaken. And I said, I don't know who or what you're talking about. He said something else about him. I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he's laughing. Stop. You don't know. People laugh when they're talking. Sometimes nervous laughs. So people just scared. Scared, nervous laugh. People will also laugh when they're flat out lying and they don't even believe what's coming out of their mouth and they know they're lying. Okay? He said, well, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor for sexual disorders of wanting your brother. I said, what? And I had to catch my breath. I almost yelled at him, why don't you quit lying? And I was holding my breath, and I'm trying not to yell, and I got to think, I thought, well, some other lady used my insurance. Half my medical records are hers. And I thought, maybe it's one of hers. I said, I don't even know who or what you're talking about. Stop, she don't know. Now, what's the problem? There can't be a Pete in my home. It's legal monitoring and voyeurism. Who's Pete, though? Who's the dirty doctor? They're the same person. Who's Henry Moffey? The same person. Who are they? His girlfriend's father. The one he's stealing for. The one Henry Moffey, where the cops were laughing in January 1926. He was so glad he never met me in person. And how he is trying to pull a fast one on the FBI and steal all the case's money for himself. There's a real problem with that when that's your girlfriend's dad. That he's trying to steal from the FBI, and your girlfriend's the one saying that you're stealing my money and put it in your pocket and gave it to her. There's a big problem with that. That is Katie's family member from that church. People today down in Magnolia, no one's to ever care what that agent said. He's dating one of those church people that had this done to her. That's where the FBI needs to get my case away from him. Like Walter said, if the FBI does not pay you, they don't stand up for that case. And then with everything that I lived through, they needed like a willing statement that I was willing to go through it for them, or their case is gone. And all those drug dealers will walk for him defrauding me. Like Walter said, they have to pay you. They had no legal right around you to surveillance you. If you're not an informant and a threat and attempt to like case, they had no right around you. It's illegal monitoring, and they'll actually end up in jail. They have to pay you to stand up for that case, and I did research with everything I lived through. They need a willing statement that I was willing to go through all that, take it out of fraud and abuse. Or all those drug dealers they got will walk. They have to fix it. He said they need to move swiftly. Okay. Then he said, why would the FBI help a person like you again? I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that died for the government. He said, well, first of all, have you talked to any law enforcement about threats on your life? I said, the only one, only officers I ever talked to in August of 18, we only had 3 cameras outside. We didn't have any inside. Front porch, back porch, side yard. Okay. I had a light at midnight. I called 911. They came out and said it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit, and told me about a dog to handle it. You're kidding, right? I said, no. Matter of fact, I've not even ever had my neighbors in my home. I've only had family repair guys and those 2 silly officers. I don't know what you're talking about. Is that what's going on? Do you know if Dave's cheating? I've never caught him. She said she never caught him. Started laughing. December 9th, 18, he verified. I never caught him. He said, well, I could take you somewhere and leave you with no money. I don't have money to start. He said, well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, he said, I can open an informant case. They have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally dated against you again, and only for you would they ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened, and you can't be legally charged again for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you tell somebody, I'll tell people you're crazy, the FBI won't help you. But if you need help, the chief of police of Canton's my best friend, and he'll make sure the Canton police always protect you. I told Walter Moss from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office when he worked there. He laughed, I cried. He's like, first of all, the police know they can't go along with any of that stuff but listen to your informant with money and immunity. And it's only for risking your life to get them information only. That agent cannot bully you into false statements. It's illegal. They know they can't go along with him. They know he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet, and it's illegal. It's a First Amendment freedom of speech. Only a judge in a jury trial can put a gag order in, only during the proceedings. No judge could sign taking your freedom of speech away outside a jury trial. The judge would be signing their own arrest warrant. He was only bullying you, Karen. And the police know that. You get the money for risking your life and only risking your life to get them information they owe you. You don't even realize, Karen, you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Informants are different. You stay yourself, you feed him information. You can tell whatever you want. He can't even say a word. And the police know that. They can't be in a court or no judge could sign them. It's a First Amendment freedom of speech. A judge only can sign in a jury trial to take and put a gag order on you. They can't even take it away from you. He said, and you're not only an informant case, but a threat and attempt to lie case. It's an attempt to murder case. Okay? He said, that can never be closed. He said, you'll be in a witness protection program the rest of your life. These people try to kill you. And they can wait and try to kill you again. The most the FBI can do is put you in a different witness protection program, but they'd have to talk to you first and ask you. Otherwise, you stay an informant for life. You get the money for the rest of your life and immunity for the rest of your life for risking your life to get them information, and they owe you. He cannot withhold your money. He cannot misdirect it. He does not have the authority, and the police know that. And they know he can't tell anybody they can't say anything. It's a freedom of speech. He's only a higher police officer. And no judge could sign it, and it's not in the court order. Get the idea. He's been bullshitting people. One of the scams he's been running. Now, I want you to think. He was telling people, she said something, the FBI was involved, so I'm getting even with her. You do realize he told hundreds of people, admitted on a recorded line, he had all those lying church people in his office. FBI office, already knew. He made fun of me, comes out for his girlfriend's dad running a scam on me. Huh? That it is breaking how I never met him in person and impersonating all these people running a con. And what did Henry Maffei say? He's pulling a fast one on the FBI, trying to steal all the money for himself. Happens to be his girlfriend's dad and Katie's family member. Told you this is a religious crusade to rob the government blind. That's what they're after. I told you the first of the case. Within the first month, I had an Instagram account. I got a message, instant message from some guy called Henry Maffei. Said, "Hi, I think you're beautiful." It's like, thanks. He said something about love on the beach and something. I don't know him from Adam. Nothing. Okay? I go out to stores. People were in there. They were drug traders, human traffickers from Florida, and they work for Judge Peters. They're talking about Henry Maffei. I thought that's weird. That's that guy that instant messaged me. Go outside, watch them get in their vehicles, and at times it looks like a guy with them driving by. Oh, that's weird. People I hadn't even talked about him when I went out for years don't know him from Adam. On the way up, January 1926, I am going up to Summit Mall. We're going to stop at Bob Evans. And on the way up there, I told Carl where these people were yelling threats at me. I said, they need to realize I'm an FBI informant. I'm in immunity for life, and they can kiss the Stark County judge's ass. They can kiss the FBI's ass, and they can kiss my government immunity, government protected informant ass. They can't touch me, and they need to embrace it. I turn on MC Hammer, you can't touch this. Okay? We're dancing around the car. I hadn't even heard anything about him in years from the riffraff people. We go in. It made him so mad. He came in and confessed. The waitress sat us by him. And I'm sitting there, and the guy's like, I'm the one that got a hold of her line. I thought, you look like that picture from years ago, but a lot thinner. Because I don't know him. Okay, his face is all sunk in, like skin over bones. Like there's something wrong with him. He said, I prove with those messages she's cheating. That's not cheating. I don't know you from Adam, you weirdo. He said, I tell all men she's not good enough for another man, and I'm glad I never met her in person. I thought, fuck you, you're as ugly as a horse's ass, and you wouldn't have got a pity date. He said, the officers that work her case only feel sorry for her. That's why they keep an eye on her. Her dancing around the car like a little kid with her new husband. I thought, they like me, and there's a corner. He said, I'm the one that incited her new husband's family that they could steal his farm. Had him threaten his life. The girlfriend's dad's robbing the elderly now, too, Agent John. Found out his son was down there vandalizing stuff on the farm. Told him to stay out of it. I'll steal everything from them. He can't go around robbing the elderly. Get the idea. He said, I found out the other Michelle's telling on us for what we're actually doing, but they can't use it. You just confess for what you're actually doing. March 27th, 25, that agent that got it out of the family had also got it out of this real pretty Michelle. That, that the scam of the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. It didn't work, and he broke up with her. Well, these people threatened to kill her, so her and her friends went badass. Told on everybody. December 1st, 25, an investigator showed up, that other Michelle showed up in his office, told him that this whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. And that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And that guy Pete running his mouth about her, she doesn't even know who he is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. And these people admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. She has no memory of those people from before. And the tape of Weird with Yourself is nothing but photoshopped or washing in the shower in the other room. The whole thing was just a scam to steal from the government, where the apostolic churches are trying to rob the government blind with their scams. Okay? And so where Henry Maffey's at, the other Michelle's telling on us for what we're actually doing, but they can't usually just confess. Twit. He said, I have a judge's friend that'll enter all my tapes in court without her, or without the FBI, and turn all the cases money over to me, and I'll be long gone and pull a fast one on the FBI and steal all the money for myself. Thought over my deputy, I wrote the president. Oh, I got an email. His got my letter, and he knew when he was coming in here he'd be going against political corruption. Yeah. If I was you, Agent John, I'd be paying me really quick. He already arrested another FBI agent this last week for stealing $1 million. See, that's where, when you find out who see, that's where the officers worked my case showed up. We told you she didn't know what was going on. That guy admitted he never met her in person. And then other people are showing up at stores. That guy admitted he never met her in person. That was supposed to be the doctor from before. And that guy, Pete. Well, who is that? Agent John's girlfriend's dad. Katie's family member's dad. And they are not poor. Where they said they're stealing for that poor family. They're poor, so he's helping it. Katie is worth over $1 million. Her net worth. So is her brother-in-law, Mike. His dad was killed at his factory when he was 10. And they did a very large settlement for their mom and for each one of the boys. Put in a trust fund they couldn't have till they were like 21 or 25. And it was like they were bragging how they'd be more than millionaires time they were 25. They're both very wealthy. We're talking about the rich robbing the poor elderly and sticking it in their pocket and then robbing the government. Agent John, you do realize that. You do realize it was Katie's family that made a fool out of you. For FBI, Agent John fell for the stunt at tapes before. Oh, come on now. It was only a stunt. You're kidding. You mean that FBI Agent John fell for the stunt at tapes before? Ha, 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 ha. June 7th, 23, asks the Stark County Sheriffs. They have a video of them mocking you. Jody, Katie's sister. Get it? I'm going to go ahead and upload this.